Well, howdy, I'm John Mark Dempsey, and we are having our second cup of coffee conversation with Jim Rutledge from the Northeast Texas Choral Society. And Jim was with us back during the holidays, the Christmas holidays, because, of course, the Northeast Texas Choral Society presents a Christmas time program and a springtime program. And if you've looked around over the past few days, you've probably realized that it is springtime.
So it is that. And isn't it lovely?
Yeah, it's getting there.
I hit the golf course this morning.
Yeah, fantastic. Oh, great. Good for you. But it is time for the spring performance of the Northeast Texas Choral Society. And the performances coming up will be Saturday, April 26th at 7 p.m. and Sunday, April 27th at 2 p.m. This is the 27th year.
Right. And the little earlier dates this year that were prompted by some things going on with the school district, and we have to yield to them, of course. It's their auditorium.
Okay, well, so. I didn't realize that. But April 26th and 27th, Saturday and Sunday, the Saturday evening program at 7 p.m. and Sunday afternoon at 2. Of course, in the Sulphur Springs High School auditorium, or some people know it as the Hopkins County Civic Center. So tell us the theme of the spring program.
Well, it's all about Broadway music, but it's an awful lot more than just Broadway music. I've sung in choral societies all over the place and done lots of these kinds of things, but never anything quite like this. It's going to be a history lesson.
Okay.
We're going to start back in time. For most of us, many of us, we can remember this time when Oklahoma came out.
Yeah.
And we're going to progress all the way up through Hamilton and all stops in between with some narration that teaches the audience, hopefully, teaches the audience, teaches some members of the choir as well, a little bit more about Broadway and the history of Broadway musicals.
So you enjoy the music, but you also learn a little bit about Broadway and the greatest of the great shows over the last.
There's a rumor going around that there's going to be a test at the end of it.
Well, that wouldn't be a bad idea, actually.
It wouldn't be.
Not so bad. But we've been talking before the cameras and the mics came on, and it's like the Hall of Fame of Broadway musicals that you're presenting here.
Right. Without listing all of them, I mean, it's Oklahoma, it's My Fair Lady, it's West Side Story, it's Phantom of the Opera, and it's Fiddler on the Roof, which is the reason for this hat, John.
No, I thought. Well, I see some guys wearing those caps, so I think it's not all that unusual, but it suits you.
Thank you very much. My wife actually complimented me.
Actually, you look quite distinguished.
Thank you.
But so I cannot imagine that there's a song that everyone will not be familiar with out of that list of Broadway shows.
Anybody who would come to
right
is going to be familiar with many of them. I personally am not all that familiar with even Hamilton. I hadn't attended.
Well, that would be
you move up in time, and I lose some of my own memories.
But even that, I've heard a lot of.
Oh, of course.
Of that, but these are some great shows. Annie, South Pacific, also some other ones. Now.
I've got to say something. The South Pacific kind of bothered me a little bit because we have a certain wokeness, right, in society now.
I've heard about that.
Of course, we're singing. What are we singing? There is nothing like a dame.
Right.
Can we say dame?
Well,
yes, we can. We are going to.
They're going to get by with it at least on this occasion.
Right.
You have some young performers that are going to join.
Yeah, this is really exciting for us. The Sulphur Springs 5th grade honor choir is joining us, and there are about 50 of them. They won't be sitting with us the whole time.
Yeah, that might
because that might be a little disruptive. But anyway, they are apparently outstanding.
Sure,
we're looking forward. We haven't worked with them yet, but we will on this coming Monday.
Fantastic! They'll be excited about that, and their folks will be. And then you have a special guest who's going to perform.
A really special guest. His name is Miguel Cervantes. And he is has been the lead singer in Hamilton, in Chicago, and Broadway
Gosh.
for 8 years.
Wow.
And it's something
Wow.
like 2,100 performances, 80 million people. It's an incredible run for him. And yet to get him on board, you asked me before the cameras, well, how did we step on this guy? One of our members was in New York and went to a production of Hamilton and had an opportunity to meet him. Well, it turns out he was raised in Dallas, and his mother sings with our choir. So there was a connection there that was just
fantastic.
Had to be put together.
Do you know her name?
I know his mother's name. Yes, her name is Mary, but we're not going with last names for reasons that I don't understand.
Okay, well, I thought we might say.
Yes, we might.
But this is someone who lives in Sulphur Springs.
Oh yeah,
wow,
yeah. Lots of people know her, but it's really complicated. The
people
issues,
have sensitivities
no, it's
that
not
have
so
to
much
be.
that as even as it is, Miguel's got contracts and rules and everything that he has to follow, and
I understand. Well,
I'm not going to begin to understand it. But,
that's okay.
Right.
But Miguel Cervantes,
Yes,
and people who follow Broadway, I'm
they
sure
will know.
this is a big name.
Yes.
Fantastic.
And I'm not sure how it's being handled, but I think there will be opportunities for autographs for
Wonderful.
people that want that. But again, there's certain there's going to be some control of that, so I don't know the details.
Right. Well, we're out of time, so I will just say that tickets are available online at singerscount.org.
Mm-hmm.
Matt will put that on screen, singerscount.org, and probably tickets will be available at the door, but why take that chance?
Yeah, I wouldn't take a chance, but I also would come. I mean,
Right.
because it's not common that we actually sell out, but this is there's an unknown factor
Right,
here.
Sure. Fantastic. So again, Saturday, April 26th at 7, Sunday, April 27th at 2, Sulphur Springs High School Auditorium, Steppin Out.
Steppin Out.
Presented by Northeast Texas Choral Society. Jim Rutledge sings, and we'll have a speaking part of some kind also.
Oh, yes.
So great. We're looking forward to it. Jim, thanks for having that second cup of coffee with us.
Thank you.
I'm John Mark Dempsey, and this is KSST.